My brother James Amanyire, he's the reason as to why I'm seated here today, because God used him to reach out to me.
Right.
And then through preaching the word of God and bringing this hope to me, I was able to realize a greater calling in me. And then I accepted Christ, and that was the beginning of everything.
That was the beginning of everything. Being in rehab was a good choice, but what actually brought healing was you being transformed by something even much bigger than a rehab. And that's what you say, that there's a God who actually transformed you to completely change from that.
It is always God. Rehab is always that first step. Rehab helps you to detox. Remember, you've been having substances in your body, and you need to fight things like craving and what. But still, the decision still stays in your head, and the choices are still in your head. So they will treat the craving. They will help you to detox and become healthy once again. But still, you're still weak. Remember, that's why I told you that my definition is it goes to the psychological part and the physical part. So if the brain is still weak, there are higher chances you can still go back to the same problem. So rehab is always good, but very expensive at the same time. Rehabs in Uganda, very expensive. So if you can have a support system, somebody to come up there and help you, will be good. It's the same thing. So, but though they give you treatment, they help you get back to your feet. But then you're only there for a short time, 3 months. Remember, you've been doing this drug for about 15 years, 20 years. 3 months, it's
a short time to just get
That's why I said it's only God. So I must commend my brother James Amanyire. With him, he had recovered. Remember, I started this addiction story with him. And then with him, he had recovered for about like 3 years. He was 3 years sober. But he had already given his life to Christ. So the only thing he knew, and the only way he would help me was to preach the gospel, to preach the word of God to me.
So the word of God was the only solution to recover from any form of addiction.
There's not any other thing that ever took me away from, apart from God. So I thank God that he used my brother James. So my brother James comes home and tells me, man, God changed my life. We started this journey together, and I feel I have this calling in me that I have to make sure I get okay. When he first talked to my parents, they were like, James, will you handle Josh? But I must thank him for being confident, and I must thank God for giving him the confidence, and also giving him that heart of not giving up. Because dealing with an addict is not easy. Today you will come. Now, because I'm facing reality, I'm coming from a life where I've been building castles in the air. Now I'm facing the real life. You start realizing you're old, there's certain things you haven't done, you've lost a certain period of time, you look at your friends, now you're back to your senses, but at the same time you're realizing certain. So you need somebody to pull you up and show you that things can get better.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Connect Zone. I know for some of us who have been following up to this far, thank you so much for following up with the story with Josh, and I hope your life is being transformed. I hope you're learning from his own personal experiences and story.
Today I'm standing here sharing my testimony because God changed my life. Whoever came in my life to help me, God used him, and God changed my life, and I was able to heal totally. Time has passed and I'm now a married man. It's possible because God made it possible in my life. What I'm sharing is coming from a personal experience. I'm giving you a testimony because I'm a living testimony right here of a person whose God has changed their life. And I've come from addiction to a sober person. And just like he has made it possible for me, he will make it possible for you.
All right, just like Joshua has shared, if God was able to make it possible for him, he can make it possible for you.